Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr.MATHS. In this lesson, we are going to revise from November 2020 Graphs and Functions section. Okay, November 2020 Graphs and Functions, that is question number 4 and 5. Okay, so listen very carefully. Let's start. Question number 4. What is question number 4? 4.1. Given h of x is equal to, there is a function given and the name of the function is h of x. This is question number 4.1. h of x is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So there is a function given like this. H of x is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So what type of function is this? Here you can see that the variable is in the denominator. So it means that it is a, which type of function? This one is an hyperbolic function. You know, the variable is in the denominator, then that's a hyperbolic function. Okay. Now what is the first question? 4.1.1. 4.1.1. Write down the equation of the asymptotes of h. You have to write the equation of the equations of the asymptotes of h. So what are the equations of asymptotes? So here you can see that x minus 1, if we write the general equation like this, h of x, for example, another equation, f of x is equal to a divided by x minus p plus q. So what are the equations of the asymptote? X is equal to, here it is, if here it is minus, here you are supposed to write a plus. If here it is plus, here you are supposed to write a minus. Okay, so x is equal to positive p and there is no change for this value. You have to write as it is. Okay, only one change. If here it is negative, here when you write the asymptotes equation, you have to write it as positive. But if here it is positive, then what you want to write here? X is equal to minus p. Okay, so here in our question, x minus 1, minus 1. So what is the asymptote? You have to write x is equal to positive 1, but no change for this one. So that one is y is equal to q. Y is equal to q is the asymptote. What is the q here? It is 2. So x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Those are the equations of the asymptote. Okay, x is equal to, here it is minus 1, so x is equal to positive 1, y is equal to 2, that number as it, don't change any symbol here. Okay, so here it is plus 2, here also you have to write a plus 2. Okay, so that is asymptotes. Next question, 4.1.2. what is that question? 4.1.2. Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of h that has a negative gradient. What is the meaning of that one, guys? Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of this h of x graph. So you have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry that has a negative gradient. So what is the meaning of that question? You know, for a hyperbolic function, maybe you remember the shape of the graph. Either it is something like this. This is a hyperbolic function, or another shape is like this. Okay, so whatever shape, there are, for a hyperbolic function, there are two axes of symmetries. Okay, one axis of symmetry is this one. This is the axis of symmetry having negative gradient, and this one is also another axis of symmetry, that is axis of symmetry having the positive. Here you can see that this line is increasing, that's why it is a positive gradient. Okay, this line is decreasing, that is why it is decreasing axis of symmetry. Okay, so here also this one is the axis of symmetry having negative gradient, and this one is the axis of symmetry having positive gradient. Okay, so anyway, you have to find the equation in this question 4.1.2. what is the question? You have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry having the negative gradient, that means this one. Okay, so now you know that this one is a straight line. Am I right? So for a straight line graph, what is the general equation? Y is equal to mx plus c. Am I right? Okay, so it's a straight line, so the general equation is y is equal to mx plus c. So it's a negative gradient. So axisymmetry always not always passes through the origin. Don't misunderstand like that. Okay, if there is an asymptote, then axisymmetry will pass through that asymptote. Okay, so anyway, you have to understand that there are two types of axisymmetry. One is axisymmetry having negative gradient, and the other one axisymmetry having positive gradient. Okay, so since this one is a straight line, what is the general equation? Y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, and the gradient for this straight line is m is equal to -1, and the gradient of this one is m is equal to positive 1. Gradient of this axis of symmetry having negative gradient is m is equal to -1, and the gradient of this axis of symmetry is positive gradient, that is m is equal to positive 1. So in our question, what is the equation of the axis of symmetry having negative gradient? So what is the value of m? It is -1. So we can write the equation like this: y is equal to -1x plus c. So now we have to find the value of this c. Am I right? Okay, so try to understand like this. Here this axis of symmetry always passes through the, not always, if there is asymptotes like this. Okay, so let me write it neatly, that one. Let me try to draw that graph here. So here what are the asymptotes? X is equal to 1. So assume that this is x1. Okay, so what is asymptote? This one is the asymptote. X is equal to 1. And what is the second asymptote? Y is equal to positive 2. So assume that this is 1 and this one is 2. Okay, so y is equal to positive 2 means this is the asymptote, and this point, that means that is the intersection point of this vertical asymptote and horizontal asymptote. Okay, and axis of symmetry always passes through that point. Do you understand? Okay, axis of symmetry always, it is positive or negative, doesn't matter. Axis of symmetry always passes through that intersecting point of the asymptote if there is axis of symmetry. Otherwise, if there is no axis of symmetry, it will pass through the origin. Okay, so if there are axis of symmetry, then axis of symmetry will pass through the point of intersection. Okay, so here what is our axis of symmetry? Which one is our axis of symmetry? Axis of symmetry having negative gradient. Am I right? Okay, so it will pass through this one like this. This is the axis of symmetry having negative gradient, and at this point excuse me, okay, at this point, what is the coordinate at this point? X value is 1, and what is the y value? It is 2. At this point, the x value is 1 and y value is 2, and what we are trying to find? We are trying to find the equation of this axis of symmetry having negative gradient. So we know that, now we know that the axis of symmetry will pass through this point. So at that point, what are the coordinates? x1, y2. Why don't we substitute that in this equation? Okay, we have to find the value of this c. Okay, so we can substitute that point in this equation. So what is that one? Y is equal to, what is y? 2. Okay, so 2 is equal to, I'm going to substitute that point. 2 is equal to minus is this one. Okay, what is the x value? 1. -1 plus c. So take this -1 to this side. So it is going to be positive 1. So it is 2 plus 1 is equal to c. 2 plus 1 is 3. So c is equal to 3. So it implies that, what is the equation of what is the equation now? Y is equal to minus m is -1 minus x plus value of c we got as 3. So y is equal to minus x plus 3, and that is the equation of the axis of symmetry having negative gradient. So the equation of this green line, this axis of symmetry is minus x plus 3. So here you can see what is this 3 stands for, the y-intercept. Equation of a straight line, this 3 stands for the y-intercept. So here you can see this point, it is 3. That is the meaning of that. Okay. So anyway, so this is the equation of the axis of symmetry having negative gradient. So that is question number 4.1.2. Now let's go to next question, 4.1.3. What is that question? Sketch the graph of H showing the asymptotes and intercepts with the axis. So you have to sketch the graph showing the asymptotes and the intercept with the axis. So for that we have to sketch the graph of h of x, draw the graph h of x. Okay, so here we already draw the asymptotes, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Okay, so we just want to find the x intercepts and the y intercept. So let me write that one once more. What is our equation? H of x, h of x is minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So we have to find the x intercept and y intercept. Okay, so let's try to find the x intercept first. At x intercept, what is the value of y? Y is equal to 0. So substitute here y. This h of x is the same as y. Okay, so y is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So we can substitute the value of y as 0. So 0 is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. Okay, now take these 2 to this side. So what is that one? 0 minus 2 is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1. I took this plus 2 to this side, so it is minus 2. Okay, so now what is here? Minus 2 is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1. So what is the next step, guys? You have to cross multiply. Am I right? Okay, you have to cross multiply like this. So here when you cross multiply that x minus 1 to this side, it is minus 2 into x minus 1. Minus 2, cross multiply this, minus 2 into x minus 1 is equal to, there is a minus 3 there. Okay, so expand the bracket. Minus 2 into x is minus 2x, minus 2 into minus 1 is, minus into minus is positive, 2 into 1 is 2, is equal to minus 3. Take this 2 to the other side. So minus 2x is equal to minus 3. Take this 2 to the other side. So it is going to be minus 2. Plus 2 on the other side, it is minus 2. So minus 2x is equal to minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. So what is x? X is equal to minus 5 divided by minus 2. Minus 5 divided by minus 2 means minus by minus is positive. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So it means that at x intercept y is 0 and x is 2.5. So x is 2.5 means, therefore what is the coordinate? Coordinate is equal to 2.5 comma 0. Okay, so x 2.5 and y 0. So let's say this is this is 2 and this is 3. So 2.5 is somewhere here. Okay, that is the x intercept. Okay, now similarly we have to find the y intercept. Okay, so those who didn't write this one, just pause the video and write it. Okay, so I'm going to erase this one and try to find the y intercept. Okay, so let's find the y intercept. At y intercept, which value is 0? X is equal to 0. So write the equation once more. H of x is the same as y. Y is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So here we have to substitute the value of x as 0. So y is equal to minus 3 divided by x is 0 minus 1 plus 2. So y is equal to minus 3, 0 minus 1 is minus 1 plus 2. So What is minus 3 by minus 1? Minus divided by minus is positive. 3 by 1 is 3. 3 plus 2. So y is equal to 5. So it means that y-intercept x is 0 and y is 5. So what is the coordinate? Therefore, coordinate is equal to x0, y5. x0, y5. y5 means somewhere there. Okay. So let me erase this equation. This is 4, this is 5. So this is the point, x is 0, this is the x-axis. So x is 0, y 5. So let me extend these asymptotes. So one point is here and the other point is here. So it means that the graph is like this. So this is the asymptote and the other point is this one, 2.5. So here you have to write what is the coordinate there? What is the coordinate of that point? 2.5. Am I right? Okay. So 2.5 comma 0 and here it is 0 comma 5. So this is the graph of h of x is equal to minus 3 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. Okay. So listen once more. First you have to draw the asymptotes, horizontal and vertical. Then you have to find the x-intercept and y-intercept. Then let's plot the graph. Okay. That's all. So that is question number 4.1.3. Now we have to move to next question, question number 5. I'm sorry, not question number 5, 4.2. Okay. Question number 4.2. Okay, so question number 4.2. 4.2. What is that question? The graph of f of x is equal to half x plus 5 the whole square minus 8. So there is a function f of x that is half of x plus 5 the whole square minus 8 and another function g of x, and what is that function? Half x plus 9 over 2. So there are two functions given, one is f of x and the other one is g of x. Okay, so once if you have a question like this, first you have to identify which functions are that one. Okay, x plus 5 the whole square. X plus 5 the whole square means if you expand this one, what is the first term? X plus 5 the whole square. If you expand that one, x square plus 10x like that. Okay, so plus 25. So here what is the highest term? X square. So it means that this one is a, what type of function is this? Quadratic function or a parabola. Okay, then that one, here the highest power of x is 1. So it means that this is a linear function or a straight line. Okay, so it means that given a quadratic function and a linear function, straight line. Okay, so now based on that one, okay, there are some conditions given. So what are those conditions? First bullet, a is the turning point of f. The graph is also given. Okay, a is the turning point of f. The axisymmetry of f intersects the axis at E. Okay, let me draw that graph, then from there I will explain. So this is the y-axis and this one is the x. Okay, so this is the graph given. Okay, so I draw a rough graph. Now look at the first bullet. A is the turning point of f. So they are given that this one is this point is the turning point of that f of x, that parabola. Okay, the axisymmetry of f intersect the x-axis at E and the line G at D, M, N. So this is the axis of symmetry. Okay, this one is the y-axis. Don't be misunderstand. Okay, this is the y-axis, but this one is the axis of symmetry. This This line is the axis of symmetry. Okay, this one is the axis of symmetry, and they are saying that this axis of symmetry intersect at E and this g of x at D. And what is the coordinate of D? It is also given m comma n. So this point D is m comma n. Now C is the y-intercept of f and g. So this point, this is the y-axis. Okay, so this point C is the y-intercept of both f of x and g of x. So anyway, those are the things given. Now we have to answer the remaining questions based on that conditions. Okay, what is the first question? 4.2.1. 4.2.1. What is that question? Write down the coordinates of A. You have to find the coordinates of A. What is that A? It is given that A is the turning point. Okay, so now in this question it is given that f of x is equal to half x plus 5 the whole square minus 8. Am I right? Okay, and here from this equation, how can you write the turning point? How can you write the turning point? You know, in small class grade 11 you studied, if a quadratic equation given like this, f of x is equal to a into x plus p the whole square plus q. Okay, a quadratic equation given like this, then what is the turning point? Last year you studied, in grade 11 you studied. Okay, this here it is plus, if here it is plus p, here you have to write minus p comma q. That is the turning point. Okay, a quadratic equation in this format, a into x plus p the whole square plus q. What is the turning point? Minus p comma q. So here it is plus 5 and minus 8. So what is the coordinate of a? A stands for the turning point. Okay, so therefore a is, here it is plus 5, so minus 5 and no change in that one, minus 8. So it means that this point is minus 5 comma minus 8. That is the first question, turning point of this f of x. So plus 5, so here it is minus 5, no change here, minus 8. Okay, so that is question number 4.2.1. now next question, 4.2.2. question number 4.2.2. What is question number 4.2.2? Write down the range of f. 4.2.2. Write down the range of f. So what is the meaning of a range? Range means possible y values. Am I right? So look at that graph. Okay, let me draw that graph here. This is our f of x graph. Okay, this one is f of x graph, and what is the meaning of range? Possible y values. So here this is the turning point. Okay, at this point what is the coordinate? We got it is minus 5 and minus 8. Am I right? So it means x value is minus 5 and y value is minus 8. So it means that at this point here what is the y value? Minus 8. Am I right? Okay, so now tell me what is the range? Range means possible. This is the y-axis. Okay, range means possible y values. So can you find any graph below that minus 8? Below minus 8, this is the y-axis. If I take a point here, minus 9, is there any graph there? There is no graph. Minus 10, if I take a minus 10 here, is there any graph there? No. Okay, so if you want to find a graph, the y value must be from minus 8 to upwards. Minus 7, no problem, I can find the graph here. Minus 6, I can find points here on the graph. 1, 2, I can find the points on the graph. One is here and the other one is here. Okay, so it means that y can take any value greater than minus 8. It can't be less than minus 8, because after minus 8 there is no graph. Okay, graph is, this is the graph. This is the graph. Am I right? Okay, and that graph is above -8. So it means that the range is y greater than or equal to -8. At this point also there is a graph. Okay, so it means that y must be greater than or equal to -8. It can't be less than -8. You can't find any graph if it is less than -8. So what you have to write? Y is greater than or equal to -8. Okay, either we can write like that, or in some schools maybe you studied like this: -8 less than or equal to y less than positive infinity. This is a positive, that means -8 to positive infinity. In any one way method both are right. Okay, any form you can write. Okay, so either y greater than -8, or you can write from -8 to infinity. Okay, so that is question number 4.2.2. Now let's go to the next question, 4.2.3. Question number 4.2.3. What is that question? Calculate the values of m and n. Where is this m and n? At this point D. Okay, D coordinate is m and n. That means in effect you have to find the coordinates of D. That is the question. Am I right? Okay, so how can you find the coordinates of D, the point D? So what is the equation of that g of x? Do you know this point D? Don't forget that this point D is a point on this g of x graph. Am I right? Okay, and what is the equation of g of x? It is given in the question. Am I right? Okay, so let me write that equation. G of x is equal to half x plus 9/2. Am I right? Okay, so here now this g of x is the same as y is equal to half x plus 9/2. Now how can you find the coordinates of that D, point D? Okay, now at this point this is the axis of symmetry. Am I right? Okay, axis of symmetry is a perpendicular line like this. Okay, so here at this point the x value, this m, is not the same as this x value, because it's the same straight line, perpendicular line, axis of symmetry. Okay, so this blue line is not the y-axis. Don't think that. Okay, maybe some of you are thinking x is 0. No, this is the y-axis. Okay, this blue line is the axis of symmetry, not the y-axis. Okay, so at this point what is the x value? Look at the same straight line. Here we already find the coordinates of a, -5 comma -8. So what is the x value here? This x value means m. What is m? M is the same -5. Okay, because that is a perpendicular line. So the x value of this point A is the same as the x value of the point D. Okay, so here straightforward we can write m is equal to, so let me write it here. Okay, without thinking anything, m is equal to -5. You understand? Okay, m is -5. Straightforward we can write. Okay, now we have to find the value of y. Okay, so here m means the x value. Okay, so m is -5. So we know the equation of this straight line, that is this one, g of x is equal to half x plus 9/2. Okay, so in that equation what is the x value we got? This m stands for the x value. X value is -5. So what we can do? We can substitute that x value in that equation, then we can find the y value. Okay, so here let me substitute here. Y is equal to half into, what is the x value at this point? X value is -4, so it means at here also the x value is -5. So -5 plus 9/2. So you can take your calculator and try to simplify that one. This is -5/2 plus 9/2. You don't want to do like this, you can find the answer in your calculator. So -5 plus 9, 4/2, that is 4/2, that is 2. Okay, so what is the coordinate? So y is equal to 2. So y is the same as, here what is y? N. So it implies that n is equal to 2. So now let's write the answer once more. What is m? m is minus 5 and n is positive 2. So that those are the answers. Okay. So that is question number 4.2.3. Now let's go to question number 4.2.4. Okay. Okay, now let's go to next question. Question number 4.2.4. Question number 4.2.4. What is that question? Calculate the area of OCDE. Calculate the area of OCDE. Which one is OCDE? Look at this one. OCDE. That means this is the, you have to find the area of this shape. Okay, so you have to find the area of that OCDE. Okay, so can you see that that OCD is a rhombus? I mean, not a rhombus, sorry, it's a trapezium. Look at this one. This is the axisymmetry, am I right? That is perpendicular like this. Okay, and this y-axis is also perpendicular. That means these two lines are parallel. Okay, so if opposite lines are parallel, it means that it is a trapezium. Okay, so how can you find the area of a trapezium? So if I draw a trapezium here, something like this. Okay, let's say this is a trapezium because these two lines are parallel. Now how can you find the area of a parallelogram? I mean, sorry, area of a trapezium. Area formula, area A is equal to half into, then you have to find the area of, okay, let's say A, B, C, D. Half into AB plus then this length CD times this height, that is AD. This is the formula to find the area of a trapezium. Okay, so half into AB, that two parallel lines. Okay, length of this parallel line AB, length of this CD, AB plus CD, times the height of that parallel that trapezium. Okay, that is AD, that is the height of the trapezium. Okay, so times AD. Okay, so anyway, this is the height, this one is the perpendicular height between that two parallel lines. Okay, that is AD. Okay, so this is how you can find the area of a trapezium. So here you can see that this line and this line are parallel because this line is the axisymmetry. Axisymmetry is perpendicular like this. Okay, and y-axis is also perpendicular. That means this y-axis and this axisymmetry are parallel lines, and this angle is 90 degrees. So this is the height, OE is the height. Okay, so now how can you find the area of that OCD? Area of OCDE is equal to half into, like this. Okay, here these two lines are parallel, so DE plus which other line parallel? OC into what is the perpendicular height? OE. So that is a formula that we are going to use to find the area of that trapezium. Okay, so now we have to find the distance DE, DC. I mean, not DC, is OC. This one is OC. This is OC. OC, that distance. Okay, so how can you find the length of DE? This is the x-axis, am I right? At this point, what is the coordinate? You already find m and n. Do you remember? N is 2, minus 5 comma 2. Do you remember m and n? Previous question. Okay, so the y value here, it is 2, means what? This distance is 2 centimeter. Y value of the point D is 2. It means that this distance is 2 centimeter. This distance is 2 centimeter. Do you understand? Okay, so here guys, listen here. This point is let's say this is 0. Okay, and here this is 5. Y value is 5. So what is the meaning of y value 5 here? This distance is 5 centimeter. Am I right? Same thing here, the y value at this point D, what is the y value? 2. So it means that the length of DE is 2 centimeter. Okay, so we know that DE is equal to 2 centimeter. Okay, centimeter or whatever maybe units. Okay, now what is the length of OC? What is the length of OC? This one. This point C is the y-intercept of this g of x. This is the g of x graph. Am I right? So this point C is the y. This is the y-axis. Y-intercept of g of x. Am I right? Okay. So at y-intercept, what is the y-intercept of g of x? 9 over 2. It means that here at this point 9 over 2. So it means the length of OC is 9 over 2 because that is the y-intercept. C is the y-intercept of g of x. What is the y-intercept from the equation? 9 over 2. So it means that the length of OC is 9 over 2. Now we have to find the length of OE. How can you find the length of OE? Axis of symmetry. Yeah, look at this. This point A, it is minus 5, minus 8. So what is the x value here? What is the x value at this point? 8. The same x value, that is minus 5. What is the y value? X intercept y is 0. Okay, so it means that the x value at this point E is minus 5. So it means this distance is what? 5 units. So next OE is 5 units. Okay, so how do you get 5 units there? Here the coordinate of A is minus 5. This is the axisymmetry. This is perpendicular line. So it means that the coordinate of E, x value of E is also minus 5. So x value of E is minus 5 means the length of OE is 5 units. Okay, so now we have to find the area. So therefore area is equal to half into DE. What is DE? 2 plus OC. What is OC? 9 over 2 times OE, that is 5. So check in your calculator, what is answer for that one? This is 4.5. So 4.5 plus 2, that is 6.5. 6.5 times 5. Check in your calculator, what is the answer for that one? In your calculator you will get 16.25 centimeter square. So that is the area of that OCDE. Okay, so that is question number 4.2.4. Now let's go to question number 4.2.5. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 4.2.5. 4.2.5. What is that question? Determine the equation of G inverse. The inverse of G in the form of y is equal to. You have to find the equation of G inverse. What is our G of x graph? What is the equation? This one. So G of x is y. Y is equal to half x plus 9 over 2. That is G of x. And here the question is to write the equation of G inverse of x. So to find the G inverse, what you have to do? You have to swap x and y. Okay, y becomes x, x becomes y. So y is equal to, what you have to write? X is equal to half into x. X becomes y. So it is half y plus 9 over 2. So we can't leave the answer like this. They want the answer y is equal to. Am I right? Okay, so leave this y here, this time here, take this one to this side. So it is x minus 9 over 2 is equal to, this is half 1 into y is y divided by 2. Okay, 1 times y is y divided by 2. So now if I want to find y, here it is division, on the right side it is division. So if I take these 2 to this side, it is multiplication. Am I right? So here y is equal to, I want to take these 2 to this side. So it is 2 into x minus 9 over 2. So expand the bracket. 2 into x is 2x. 2 into minus 2 times minus 9 over 2. This 2 and 2 cancel. So what is remaining? Minus 9 is equal to y. That means y is equal to 2x minus 9. Okay, and that is our g of x. So we can write therefore g of x, that is g inverse of x. G inverse of x is 2x minus 9. Okay, so that is question number 4.2.5. okay, now let's go to question number 4.2.6. So in question number 4.2.5, you have to swap x and y to find g inverse. Okay, so question is to find g inverse, so you have to swap x and y. Okay, let's go to next question, question number 4.2.6. Okay, next question number 4.2.6. 4.2.6. What is that question? If h of x is equal to g inverse of x plus k is a tangent to f, determine the coordinates of the point of contact between h and f. So there is a function h of x given, and what is that h of x? H of x is equal to g inverse of x plus k. So h of x is g inverse of x plus k. Okay, now don't forget that the previous question we got the g inverse of x, that is 2x minus 9. Okay, so this g inverse of x is 2x minus 9. Okay, so what is that h of x? Before I continue reading that question, what is h of x? G inverse of x, that is 2x minus 9 plus this k. This is g inverse of x plus k. So here also you can see that this one is a linear equation or a straight line equation. Do you know why? This one is 2x. The highest power is x. Okay, that means highest power of x is 1. So then this one you have to consider as a constant term. So 2x, this is a constant term. So it means that minus 9 plus k, that is a constant term, and this 2x is a variable. Okay, x is the variable. So this one is a linear function or a straight line graph. Okay, h of x. Okay, so anyway, in this linear graph, what is gradient? Gradient is this 2, positive 2. So it means that the line is like this. If the gradient is positive, here it is positive. Am I right? So it's an increasing straight line. Am I right? Okay, so this h of x is an increasing straight line with the gradient positive 2. Don't forget that the gradient is positive 2. Okay, now look at that question again. If h of x is equal to g inverse of x plus k is a tangent to f. So this one, they are saying that this one is a tangent to this parabola graph. Okay, so of course since the gradient is positive 2, I told you the graph is like this, it's an increasing straight line. Okay, so and it's a tangent to f, so we can't draw a increase. This is our f of x, and we can't draw an increasing tangent here, somewhere here, because here if you draw, or here if you draw a tangent, it is supposed to come like this. Am I right? So it means that our tangent is somewhere here, then only we can draw an increasing straight line. Am I right? Okay, so let me assume that okay, let's say this is that point, and here there is a tangent like this passing through that point, and that is our h of x. This one is our h of x. It's a tangent to f of x. And can you say what is the gradient of that tangent? Yeah, that is this plus 2. Okay, gradient of that tangent is plus 2 or 2. Okay, because h of x is g inverse of x plus k, and we substitute what is g inverse of x, 2x minus 9 plus k. Anyway, the gradient is coefficient of x, that is 2, positive 2. Okay, so the gradient of this h of x is positive 2. Okay, now continue, read that one. is a tangent to f, determine the coordinates of the point of contact between h and f. So you have to find what is the coordinate of that touching point, the tangent point. Okay, what is the coordinate here? That is the question. You understand? Okay, so this question is a combination of this graph question and calculus section. Okay, so in calculus, those who studied calculus, maybe you remember, if there is a graph given like this, okay, let's say this is f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. I'm just giving an example. Okay, there is no connection with this our question. Okay, and there is a tangent passing through this point, and assume that the x value is 1. Okay, then how can I find the gradient of this tangent? In calculus, it's not a function, it's a calculus section. How you found the gradient of this tangent? First you have to find the derivative of that f of x. Am I right? So what is the derivative? 2x minus 5x. What is the derivative? Minus 5. This 2x, then minus 5. Those who doesn't know how to find the derivative, you have to watch calculus section. Okay, so the derivative of this x squared minus 5x is 2x minus 5. Minus 5x derivative is minus 5. Constant term derivative is 0. So anyway, derivative is this one, 2x minus 5. Then how can I find the gradient of this tangent? Gradient of this tangent, I'm supposed to substitute the x value of that touching point. So here the x value in our example, it is 1. So f dash of 1, that is 2 into 1 minus 5. I substitute the value of x as 1. So it is 2 minus 5, that is minus 3. I'm just giving an example. It's not a correct example. But anyway, this is how you want to find the gradient of a tangent in calculus. Okay, so here in our question, we already know the equation of that f of x. Am I right? Okay, what is equation of f of x? This one, half x plus 5 the whole square minus 8. Okay, so and also we know the gradient of this tangent. What is that one? Plus 2. So the gradient of this tangent is positive 2. That tangent gradient is positive 2. Okay, so anyway, let's write that f of x. F of x is equal to half into, now look at this one, x plus 5 the whole square. We have to expand that one. What is that? If it is like this, a plus b the whole square, how you are expanding? First term square, that is a square, plus 2 into first term into second term, 2 into first term into second term, plus second term square, that is b square. So similarly we have to expand this one. So first term square, that is x square, 2 into first term into second term, 2 into x into 5, 2 into 5, 10, 10 into x is 10x. Then second term square, second term is 5, 5 square is 25, then minus 8. So let's write that f of x. F of x is equal to, let's expand the bracket. Half into x squared is half x square, half into 10x. What is that one? Half into 10 is, this 2 and 10 cancel, it is 5. So half into 10x is plus 5x. Half into 25, that is plus 25 divided by 2. 1 into 25 is 25, 2. That is this one. Then minus 8. Okay, so now we have to simplify the last two terms, these two terms. Okay, check in your calculator what is 25 over 2 divided by, 25 over 2 minus 8. So f of x is equal to half x square plus 5x. What is answer in your calculator? 16 plus 9 over 2. Okay, you can check in your calculator is correct or wrong. Okay, so 25 minus 16 is 9 over 2. So anyway, this is our f of x, half x square plus 5x plus 9 over 2. Okay, now that is the equation of this parabola. Now how can I find the gradient of this tangent? I have to find the derivative of that. Look, you have to remember the example that I told you. Okay, I have to find the derivative of this parabola then substitute the x value at that point. Okay, so I have to find the derivative first. So derivative of this f of x. So derivative of f of x, how can you write? F dash of x. Okay, derivative of f of x, that is f dash of x. So what is the derivative of half x square? Half into x square derivative is 2x. These 2 will come here, then 1 less than these 2. Okay, that is x raised to 1. So these 2 and 2 cancel. So what is the derivative? Only x. So half x square derivative is x. Okay, half into this, half into derivative of x squared is 2x. Then these 2 and 2 cancel, remaining is only x. Okay, plus what is the derivative of 5x? Derivative of 5x is 5. What is the derivative of constant term? Constant term derivative is 0. So it means that derivative of f dash of x is x plus 5. So let me write it here. Derivative of f dash of x is equal to x plus 5. Okay, then what you studied in calculus? First you find the derivative, then in this derivative substitute the x value of this touching point. You remember the example that I told you? Okay, so first you find the derivative. So we find the derivative. This is our derivative. Okay, in this derivative, when you substitute the x value of this touching point, we are supposed to get the gradient. Okay, but in this question we already know the gradient is plus 2. You understand? Okay, so in this derivative, listen very carefully, in this derivative, after you substitute the x value of that touching point, okay, that we are supposed to get the gradient of this tangent, but we know the gradient of this tangent is positive 2. So in this derivative, after we substitute the value of x, here we are supposed to get the gradient, but we know the gradient. What is the gradient of that tangent? It is 2. Okay, so from here what is the value of x? X is equal to 2 minus 5, that is x is equal to minus 3. You understand? So here the value of x is minus 3. Okay, so we got the value of x at this point, it is minus 3. Now we have to find the y value. So how can you find the y value? This point is a point on this parabola also. Am I right? Okay, so we can substitute the value of x as minus 3 in the equation of that parabola. Where is the equation now? Either we can substitute here or on this one, or simplified one. Okay, doesn't matter which one. Which one is easy? I think this one is easy. Okay, so substitute that x value in that equation. Okay, so y is equal to half into what is x? At that particular touching point, x value is minus 3. So minus 3 plus 5 the whole square minus 8. So y is equal to half into minus 3 plus 5 is 2. 2 square minus 3 plus 5 is 2. 2 square is 4. So it is times 4 minus 8. So these 2 and 4 cancel. It is 2. So 2 minus 8. That means y is 2 minus 8 is minus 6. So it means that at this point the value of y is minus 6. So the coordinate is minus 3 comma minus 6. Okay, so that is question number 4.2.6. Now let's go to the next question, 4.2. No, that's the last question in question number 4. Okay, so let's go to the next question, question number 5. Okay, now let's go to next question, question number 5. Question number 5. What is question number 5? The graph f of x is equal to 3 raised to minus s minus x is sketched below. So there is a graph f of x is equal to 3 raised to minus x is sketched below. So there in the question paper you can see a graph like this, and here and there is a line y is equal to 9. Okay, there is a line like that, and they are saying that okay, this is the y-axis and this one is 9, and this is the point P, this is F graph, and this point is A. So there is a graph given like this. Okay, this is the x-axis. Now A is the y-intercept of F. A is the y-intercept of F. So this axis is y. Okay? Y-axis, A is the y-intercept, and B is a point of contact of F and the line y is equal to 9. So there is another line. Don't think that this is asymptote. Okay, so they are saying that this one is another line, y is equal to 9. Look at the question. It is given there. B is the point of contact between this F graph and another line. This is not an asymptote. Okay, another line, y is equal to 9. So it means that at this point, okay, the value of y is on this line, the value of y is 9. Okay, now what do you want to find? Based on that one, you have to answer the remaining questions. Okay, what is the first question? Question number 5.1. What is that question? Write down the coordinates of A. This is the point A. Okay, and you know that A is in y axis. So at y intercept, what is x value? Of course, it is 0. Okay, so here this is our given function y is equal to 3 raised to minus x. This f of x is the same as y. Okay, and we know that at this point, that is a y intercept, and what is the value of x? It is 0. Okay, so at y intercept, the value of x is equal to 0. So now in this equation we can substitute the value of y as 0. So y is equal to 3 raised to minus x. Value of x is 0 at A. Okay, so minus 0. So y is equal to 3 raised to 0, and y is equal to any number raised to 0 is 1. Okay, so it is 1. So it means that at this point A, therefore coordinate of A is y-intercept, the value of x is 0, and the y value we got as 1. So 0 comma 1 is that point. So this point is 0 comma 1. Okay, that is question number 5.1. Now let's go to question number 5.2. Okay, question number 5.2. What is question number 5.2? Determine the coordinates of B. You have to find the coordinates of this B, this point B. Okay, you have to find what is the coordinate of this point B. What is that coordinate? Okay, so now you know this point B is on this line, and what is the equation of that line? Y is equal to 9. So it means that this at this point, what is the value of y? It is 9. So straightforward, we got the value of y, that is 9. Okay, so now we have to find the x value. So how can you find the x value? We know the equation of this f of x, and this point B is a point on that f of x graph. Okay, so write that equation once more. Y is equal to 3 raised to minus x. So at this point B, what is the y value? It is 9. So we can substitute the value of y as 9. So 9 at B, okay, at B, 9 is equal to 3 raised to minus x. We substitute the value of y as 9. Okay, so now here 9 is 3 square. Am I right? I'm trying to make the bases are the same. Okay, so 9 is 3 raised to 2 is equal to 3 raised to minus x. So here you can see the bases are the same. Here 3, here also 3. So what we can do? We can equate the exponents. So what is the exponent? Minus x is equal to what? Here what is the exponent? 2. So it implies that minus x is equal to 2. So what is x? multiply throughout with a negative. So minus into minus positive. So minus into plus is minus 2. So it means x value is 2. For b is x value is minus 2, and what is the y value on this b? Y value we know that it is 9. Okay, so it is 9 here. So what is the y value? It is 9. So what is the coordinate of b? B is minus 2 comma 9. Here it is minus 2. Okay, so what we did here, y is equal to 3 raised to minus x, that is our equation. Then at b, what is the y value? At b, y value is 9. Then we substitute the y value as 9. Then we solve, we got the x value as minus 2. So what is the coordinate of b? B is minus 2 comma 9. Okay, so that is question number 5.2. Now let's go to the next question, 5.3. Okay. Okay, what is question number 5.3? Write down the domain of f inverse. You have to write the domain of f inverse graph. So this is our f of x graph, question number 5.3. This is our f of x graph, and you have to write the domain of f inverse graph. So now how can you draw, what is the first, you must have an idea of what is f inverse graph. How can you find f inverse graph? You have to swap x and y. Am I right? If you want to find f inverse, what you have to do? X comma y changes to y comma x, all the points in that graph, that f graph. Okay, so all the points in this f graph, you have to change the x comma y to y comma x. Now look at this one. This is our f of x graph. Okay, what is the coordinate of this point? 0 comma 1. So in f inverse graph, what is the point? 1 comma 0. Am I right? You swap x and y. So 1 comma 0 means somewhere here. This is x-axis. So x-axis, assume that this is 1. So that one is 1 comma 0. This point is 1 comma 0. Now look at this one. Another point we know, 2 comma 9. So in f inverse graph, what is that point? 9 comma 2. You swap x and y, 9 comma 2. X 9, y 2, somewhere here. So this is the image of this b here in f inverse graph. Okay, so what is the coordinate here? 9 comma 2. We swap x and y. So now if you draw that graph, you can see that it will pass through this point and it will pass through this point. Okay, so this is the inverse of, this is f inverse graph. F inverse, we swap x and y, we got the shape of the f inverse graph. Okay, now what is the question here? The question number 5.3 is, you have to write the domain of f inverse graph. What is the meaning of domain? Domain means possible x values. Am I right? Domain means possible x values. Okay, so here now look at this graph. In this graph never cross this y-axis. Am I right? Because this y-axis is the asymptote of this graph. So it will never cross this y-axis. So it means that the x value, these are the x values. Okay, this is the x-axis. Okay, so x value must be always on the positive side. It must not come to the negative side. Okay, domain means what? Possible x values. So is it possible this f inverse graph to cross the y? No, because this one is asymptote now. Okay, so it can't be negative x value, always it will be positive x value. So how can you write the answer? X is greater than 0. Okay, if you write a greater than, x is greater than or equal to 0, then you won't get mark. X is greater than or equal to 0 means that you are saying that this f inverse graph is touching this y-axis. No, it can't touch on the y-axis. So if you write it like this, it is wrong because of this equal to. Okay, so what is the answer? X must be greater than 0. Okay, or you can write it like this also. Maybe in your school you studied like this: 0 less than x less than infinity. You can write it like that also. That's also right. Okay, so same thing, x greater than 0 or 0 to positive infinity. Okay, so that is question number 5.3. Now let's go to next question, question number 5.4. Question number 5.4. What is that question? Describe the transformation from f to h of x is equal to 27 by 3 raised to x. So what is that question? Describe the transformation from f to h of x. Okay, and what is h of x? 27 divided by 3 raised to x. Okay, so anyway, you have to describe the transformation from f of x to h of x. And what is this h of x? H of x is, okay, what is f of x? 3 raised to minus x, am I right? 2, what is h of x? 27 divided by 3 raised to x. So you have to describe the transformation from f of x to h of x. What happened to f of x? So that you will get this one. That is what you want to write. Okay, so describe the transformation from f of x to h of x means that what happened to this f of x graph. So you will get this one. That is what you want to write in words. Okay, so here look at this h of x graph. Okay, h of x is 27 divided by 3 raised to x. Okay, so if I take this 3 raised to x to the numerator, it is 3 raised to minus x. Okay, so this one is 27 into 3 raised to minus x. Actually, what is this 27? How can you write it as a base of 3? 3 raised to 3 is 27. Okay, so this 27 we can write it as 3 raised to 3 into 3 raised to minus x. So here the same basis, in small classes you studied exponential rule, a raised to m times a raised to n. What is answer? A raised to m plus n. Remember that one. So here also you can see the same basis. Here also same basis. So m plus n, that means 3 plus minus x. Plus minus means minus. So here we can write this is 3 raised to 3 plus minus x, that is 3 minus x. So now look at this one. Here what I'm going to do is here it is minus x, f of x is minus x. Okay, so look at how I'm going to write. This one is, I'm going to write it like this: 3 raised to minus of x minus 3. Look at this one. It's the same thing. Minus into x, minus x. Minus into minus 3. Minus into minus is positive 3. Positive 3. Can you see? So this 3 minus x is the same as minus of x minus 3. So now that is actually h of x. Okay, so now look at this one. 3 raised to, what is our f of x? 3 raised to minus x. And what is our h of x? We got 3 raised to minus of x minus 3. So this is our f of x and this is our h of x that we got now. Okay, so now tell me what happened to this one to get this one. Here 3 minus minus, instead of this x, here it is x minus 3. When it is x minus 3, what type of transformation is that? 3 units to the which direction? Minus 3 is not left. In graph section, just opposite. 3 units to the right. Okay, so what type of transformation is there? Shift f of x 3 units to the right direction. to get what? H of x. That means f of x is shifted 3 units to the right. To the right. Okay, you are right. 3 units to the right to get f of h of x. Okay, this minus x here minus x minus 3, x changes to x minus 3. That is actually what happened. X minus 3 means 3 units to the right direction. Okay, so this is the answer. Shift f of x 3 units to the right direction. So when you write your exam, you have to show this one. How do you get this answer? Okay, so first you have to show this one. This 27 by 3 raised to x is the same as this one. Then you have to write the transformation. Okay, so that is question number 5.4. Now let's go to the next question, 5.5. Okay, let's go to the next question. Question number 5.5. Question number 5.5. What is that question? Determine the values of x. You have to find the values of x. Okay, and what is the condition for which h of x is less than 1? You have to find the values of x where h of x is less than 1. Okay, so previous question, do you remember we already got h of x? What is our h of x? This h of x is 3 raised to minus of x minus 3. This was our h of x. Okay, and you have to find the values of x, and what is the condition? This h of x is less than 1. Okay, so it's a simple question. 1, look at how I am going to write. 3 raised to minus of x minus 3 is less than. So here this 1 we can write any number raised to 0 is 1. Am I right? Any number raised to 0 in exponential rule you study this one. A raised to 0 is 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. So instead of this 1 we can write it as 3 raised to 0. So we will get the same base. That is why I wrote it like this. Okay, so 3 raised to this exponent, 3 raised to this exponent. So it's the same basis. So what we can do, we can equate the exponents. So here what is the exponent? It implies that minus of x minus 3 is less than, here what is the exponent? It is 0. So expand the bracket. Minus x minus into minus 3 is plus 3, minus into minus plus 3 is less than 0. Now expand, take that minus 3 to, this plus 3 to the other side. So it is minus x is less than this plus 3 on the other side, it is minus 3. So here you have to change this to positive. So you have to throughout multiply left side and right side with a negative. But don't forget that this is inequality. So if you want to multiply or divide with a negative, you have to change the sign to positive. Okay, so it is minus into minus is positive x. Then you have to write it as greater than, minus into minus is positive 3. So the value of x or values of x are x is greater than 3. And that is question number 5.5. What was the question number 5? What was question number 5.5? You have to find the value of x or values of x satisfying this condition. So what are the values of x? X is greater than 3. So guys, that's the end of November 2020 question paper. So I hope you understand clearly. So thank you for watching. Keep on watching. Practice maximum number of questions from our app. Okay. See you on the next lesson. Thank you. Bye.